YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode here on ESGNet of Madden 18 Dallas Cowboys franchise, and this is episode 25, and we're in the final part of the off season here as we're now wrapping it up here and getting ready for prime time. There is the NFL draft, the night that, well, young 24 or 20-year-olds are becoming multi-million-dollar NFL stars. So we'll see what type of stars we'll get here in this draft as we take a look here at your free agency list here, and I just want to show you guys some of the team or some of the players there that went to the certain teams there. I think quite a few. We're gonna have a big problem with the Redskins next year. They went all out. They splurged quite a bit. I want to say too, the Giants also splurged a little bit there for us or against us here this year. So next year it's gonna be a really I think it's gonna be a very competitive NFC East. But yeah, just take a look there. Yeah, you guys can pause the video and check those out. I'm not gonna get really into too many of the signings there, but for the most part, there a lot of teams make some pretty good guys pick up there. You see Josh Gordon going to the Falcons there. That was one that kind of was like, wow, they're gonna have a really good receiving core there. And then pretty much, you know, there's some teams that really need some areas in their game. For us, you know, we already signed. I think in the last episode I mentioned we signed Greg Robinson. He's our left tackle now, and we also picked up Colin Kaepernick. Yeah, we picked up Kaepernick. We went ahead and signed him. Just a two-year deal. He's a guy that's going to help us out. It's going to help out Dak in the you know, issue of throwing too many interceptions. We had a big problem with that last season, and we kind of want to minimize that. I do have a goal in mind that Dak has to get to or to reach this year, or not. Hopefully not reach, but reach the limit that he has to have, and that limit for him is no more than 15 interceptions for the season. That is his cap. So if he gets that cap early, well, then we're going to put in cap. We're going to put in Kaepernick. That has already been talked about amongst the coaches there, because that's something they want to limit here. Now, you know, interceptions are not always the QB's fault. A lot of times it's happened because the line just gives up, you know, a pass rusher comes in there and disrupts the pass, and the quarterback, of course, has to get rid of the ball as quickly as possible. So he's going to have to make some better choices when that and whatnot. So that's something we're going to have to worry about going into the season, because that did happen quite a bit for us. But that's the thing. 15 interceptions. After that, he will be benched for unknown amount of time. We don't know yet. I asked the coaching staff there about that. Jason and a lot of the coaches there. I was trying to get stuff out of them about it, but they said they was going to keep it hush hush and didn't want to really say too much. Take a look at the transactional logs there for all the teams for the NFC East there, and you guys can pause the video, check those out. The signings that they've made, you know, Redskins, Eagles, and Giants, of course, us also there on that list. But yeah, that is something we're going to be looking into this off or going to the season. I will say that after this video we will have preseason games, and we'll have those. I don't know if I'm going to do a inside the video talk about the preseason. Actually, we probably will. We'll probably do one. It'll be a collection of just talking about the preseason overall. So yeah, that's what I'm being told right now from our producer right now, that we're just going to be doing just a video for each, doing an inside video for all of them all at once there. So you guys will see each game, you know, of course, but once the fourth game's over with, we'll have the first inside the video, or inside Cowboys Insider there for the preseason, and kind of get you guys set and go for the regular season. And of course, then after that, we'll start doing like we did before, have an episode, and then of course after that episode we'll have the post game episode of it, talking about what the game itself, and then of course getting you guys set up for the matchup for the next game. So that is coming up here. The season, I'm hoping to start the second season here sometime by sometime next week. I do have spring break coming up. If you guys don't know, I work for a university working food services and stuff like that, so I'll have plenty of time to get caught up and get some Madden in there for you guys. So there'll be a lot of content coming up that week. I believe it's the week of this was it the 12th through the 17th. So stay tuned to the channel for that. There'll be a lot of stuff on Twitter and all that kind of stuff about videos, and we're gonna try to push out a lot of stuff coming out that week. But getting back into this series here, we'll go ahead and take a look here at the first round here. We just kind of look and see who was signed. We kind of had an idea of, okay, if this guy gets signed, we'll go after this guy, or if this guy gets picked up, we'll go after him. So we went ahead and did that. We're looking around, and this first round was tough because they took the guy that a couple of mock drafts that I did. He was available, and now this time he was not available, so we had to go a different route here. We was going to go after Jeremy Miller, who's a free safety there. He had some pretty good numbers there for himself, and that's not the guy I was talking about right there, but that was one of the guys we were looking at for the first round, pick up for first round middle linebacker there, which is something that we do need. But most important, I think, first and foremost, we're going to look at our safeties, because we do need some. We got some pretty talented guys, but just kind of want to get ready for the next. I think we have two. I think next season we may not re-sign, or I think we have three that we have right now, but two of them not going to be re-signed next season. So this guy's going to be the guy that we're going to sign eventually. Here we're going to kind of build around him, but Miller wasn't on there, and then of course you see some other Fletcher. I was thinking about taking a halfback there. I think you guys seen him, his name Harmon, I think there was his name. We were looking at him possibly being the guy that we was going to go after, and then we've seen this one. We've seen Brian Frederick. I hope I said his first name right. There you see, he's projected as a mid-third round guy, but we decided, let's go for it. And you know what? We're like, I couldn't believe this. He was actually higher, had a better overall, and in some areas in his game, it was a little bit slightly better than Jeffrey Miller. So I think we did a pretty good job there in that first pick there. So that's our first round overall pick there for the Dallas Cowboys for the free safety position there. And I really feel strongly about that. That was a good pick, and I felt really comfortable with that. He was a guy that we had on our draft board there. But we thought he was going to go sooner. We thought a lot of people were going to go after him, but they didn't. So we'll go second round here. Of course, second round. We were looking at, of course, there was a lot of wide receivers in the second round in this draft class there, and of course we don't need wide receivers, at this time and because, I feel pretty confident with our wide receiver core. Of course. You got Switzer, the young rookie from last year that we got, and then of course Dez always great. This year not as a huge impact into their games. There's a few games there he was helpful for us, but for the most part there, he's getting close to his contract going. I think he has another year or two left with that. But at some point here we will we'll look at wide receivers. But this year we just couldn't, there was not really that we were wanting. We need to get things we need. So offensive line, I decided to go offensive line there. I seen a strong safety there. I started thinking about okay, we could possibly go after him. We can go after another strong safety and kind of see where he goes. And if he doesn't work out, then we can always release him or trade him at some point. But we decided to go ahead and we'll just continue looking around. Defensive tackle was another area in our game that we not necessarily importance that we need, but something we do need to look at. And so we decided, let's go ahead with the right tackle because we do need some offensive help. And we went ahead with Travis Newton. So there you see the young man from Duke University, 6'6", 338 pounds. He's a run blocker, and that is something we need right now, especially with the backs that we have. And he will be very, very helpful in our running game, our running game there. Not so much our passing game, but of course that can always be fixed, and we can get him better and better. Get him some playing time, because there are the backups will be getting plenty of playing time this season with the play packages that we are going to be working with and getting guys in on a regular basis there. So he's going to get some good playing time there in that position. So third round, we go ahead and we take a look here, and we're thinking about third round originally with I think in the last episode I think I mentioned that we were going to go after a halfback here, but I said, what, let's try to see if we can get something maybe for a future pick for next year. So we were looking around there, and we've seen a couple of interesting picks there, but just nothing just felt right or anything like that. So I'm showing this again just to refresh, let you guys know what the picks were and whatnot. But the young man that I think I talked about in the last episode, or if I didn't, now this is the first time I'm mentioning him. But he's a halfback named Raymond Bird, a young man who I thought, looking at his numbers there, he had a really good, I think a decent 40 time. I think it was like 4.4, 4.5, 4.6, something like that. I mean, it was a really good 40 time, and a couple other areas in his game that was really good. And then there was another halfback there. I can't remember his name off the top of my hand here. I was trying to look at my notes here to see if I written it down, and I did not. So that was helpful. But yeah, we were looking at those two guys there as we were looking at, possibly talking to the other teams about draft picks there for a, possibly getting maybe a 4th round pick for this year's draft. But really, I started thinking about, there's no need for a 4th round pick because there's nothing in the 4th round. Because I think I even mentioned in another video, a previous video, that we were going to get rid of our 4th round pick. So we decided to go pick up Raymond Bird here. He is a 3rd round or projected 4th or late 4th round, mid 4th round pick. But we decided to go ahead and get him in 3rd round. And there you see Ohio State. Yeah, one of Zeke Elliott's buddies there. 4th round guy, or a 3rd round guy, one cut type of player from Ohio State, and we'll have him in our back receiver or halfback core there. So I really feel good. He got some pretty good speed there on him, and he's definitely be a guy that I think we'll have fun with. Now, in the 4th round here, I really did my job, guys. I mean, really looked around there. There was nothing in 4th round that was screaming our name out. There was a lot of 6th round guys that I just didn't think that would be good enough for our 4th round pick. So like I said in the other video, I was like, okay, there's nothing 4th round, nothing that screams at us that we need, because a lot of the positions were like guards and what else? Let's see. Yeah, left guards, right guard, left guards, right guards that were all 6th round, late 5th round type of guys. So we just like, not gonna do that. We're gonna go ahead and trade off our picks. So we trade with Indianapolis, and they accept the trade there. So we'll get their 4th round pick next year for a 4th round pick for next year. Go ahead and of course the 5th round we didn't have a pick because we traded that one off from a past draft. So we decided to go ahead and sim, and we went ahead and sent to the 6th round. And this was the one that was pretty difficult because there's, like I said, there was a lot of linebackers here, middle, left, and right, that we could choose from. But really, there was only maybe, I would say, probably out of the I want to say dozens, but there was about maybe 4 or 5 good, decent players that I thought with mock drafts and stuff like that I did. Only 2 of them really kind of screamed at us. One of them was Daniel Nelson. When I did that mock draft of his was a 70 overall. And then Latterus Carson, he was also a 70 overall, but he was a right outside linebacker. So there you see Nelson's numbers there. Great power hit from him, and of course too from Carson there. But I decided, let's try to see if there's anything else out there. So we do that, and we take a look here. We're gonna see Hudson there. Don't have his unlocked, but I looked at his his combine score there. It was a 6.8. So it was like, okay, yeah, maybe possibly. Looked at his combat report there, and looked pretty, I don't know, something. I felt like there was something there with him, and then just started, just did a lot of comparison there, just with other players there. And then this guy right here, this is Wyatt Nischik. We looked at his numbers, and I'm like, why didn't we discover any of his abilities here? Because he has a pretty really great combine number for our middle linebacker, and he could be possibly higher, or a little slightly higher than Nelson, because Nelson's combine rating, is just 0.3 lower than Wyatt. So we decided, what, let's go ahead and just do it. Let's just take a shot here. Let's just see what he is, and if he doesn't work out, then we can always put him on the practice squad or something like that, and just kind of help him progress over time. So we decided, we're gonna go ahead and draft him. So we'll see here in just a bit here where he was drafted, and 64 overall. Okay, so not they say it's a good pick. I would have to say, yeah, maybe, possibly. So we're gonna go ahead and sign him. But look at his numbers. Great speed there. He's pretty strong. For 6 foot, 24 years of age, from Cincinnati. He's a prototype type of player. So there might be something to it. Talking to some insiders there, they said that was that there was one of the things that was really talked about that young man there. He had a positive interview there. They interviewed him, and also amongst the other teams there, they said the same thing. So there you see our draft recap. We end up getting Ross Hayes there in our 7th round pick, a 75 overall. Get this, 75 overall left guard there. So that really helped us out there. So out of all the players there, our 6th round was the only one that was kind of a stinker, 64 overall. But with that being said, I looked at some of the news there, and I don't think I showed it here in the video, but in the news area there in the game, they said that a lot of the insiders there were really impressed with this, that this was a kind of a diamond in the rough for the Cowboys, and could be something special. So maybe we got a player that can, his development's normal. It's not, he doesn't have great, he's a normal guy, but great speed there, good tackle. Block shedding needs a little help there, and power and all the other stuff that can all be done here in the course of a couple of games there, in which he'll get some playing time here this season. But with him, working with him in training and stuff like that, I think he might be a guy that, as you see there, Todd McShay says that the move there to going after can be productive. So he could be a player that that could be something special for us. So hey, I'll take that. So that is it for our draft. Like I said, coming up in the next episode, you guys, episode 26 through 26, 27, 28, and 29 will all be preseason games. We'll show you guys, it'll be a full-length game, so you guys will see from everything, just like we normally do. And we'll see some of these players work out, and see where they'll work out in, and what play packages, stuff like that. We'll be working on that here. before the first game there. But I think overall, I think we had a pretty good draft, and I'm pretty impressed with it. So we'll see if these draft picks will work out, and we'll see which ones will not coming up in the next episode. So like I said, we'll be in the preseason. We'll show you guys the preseason schedule, all that. I don't know, we may have an episode just of a inside the dish in Cowboys Insider, just for talk about the preseason and show you guys preseason games and whatnot coming up here. Not for sure, I might change the producer's mind, but yeah, we'll get into that more here coming up in hopefully here in the next episode. So stay tuned for more Cowboys franchise here on ESGNet as we go along on this crazy ride here to try to repeat as Super Bowl champions in this upcoming season. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed today's episode, please leave a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you have not yet subscribed to ESGNet for Cowboys franchise here on the channel. Also, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Discord, and Tumblr. Check us out there for the latest news and events on what's going on here on the channel and what's going on in the world of sports gaming in general. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, keep yourself healthy, and I will see you guys next time.